Bowls to Winfield Hill, who gets one just past square leg, pulling it away, going up towards the boundary and across, and that's the first 4 for Essex. Just a little bit short, just dropped short, and aerial for a while.
To the left-handed Scriven bowler, middle stump, lying flat on the ground. What a tremendous start for Ellie Anderson, surrounded by her.
Run up, comes into bowl, and that's hit away nicely over the head of mid-wicket. 2 bounces and goes for 4 to the covered area of the public seats, just in front of the apartments next to the flag. Here's Robbins again from the Graham Gooch end, bowls, and with a swivel pull, this is hit away nicely, very well timed as well, and goes for 4, beats the dive on the boundary at deep square leg.
Barnes then is bowling to Lizzie McLeod, who hammers that into the offside, and it's well fielded at extra cover. I think that's There's Barnes in again, and this is played away handsomely through the covers. That's a lovely shot. Somerset bowled well.
Yeah.
Surrey didn't bat particularly well, with the exception
Roy,
of Jason Roy. That's 4 more. Lovely shot this time from Winfield Hill, away between extra cover.
Probably about a 75% cloud cover, as this is driven and dropped, and she would have actually capped off a really good couple of overs there by getting a second wicket.
To Winfield Hill, sweeps, slog sweeps, that could be 4. Yep, Griffiths isn't going to reach that. That was beautifully timed again by Winfield Hill.
She's looking good again.
Skelton in and bowls, and this is lofted again in almost exactly the same direction, with a very similar result. 4 more runs.
Winfield Hill is going to be on strike to Amanda J. Wellington, which is hit over the head of mid-on and will go for 4. Good pick-up shot there by Winfield Hill, who is batting explosively at the moment. 5 saving 1, the rest on the boundary, and this is pulled and dropped. Oh, caught on the rebound. My goodness me, what a good catch. McLeod is out, and it was taken on the rebound by Olivia Barnes at square leg.
To Winfield Hill, who edges this down to third, and that'll go down to the boundary. It was fine. There is a short third, but that was well fine of her. Galloping in and bowls, and this is pulled away, and that is going to be 4. Dive in vain by the fielder as Griffiths bowls to Winfield Hill, who's bowled. And middle and off stump, good piece of bowling. Cover on the leg side boundary. She's in and bowls, and this is swept and comes off the bottom edge. I think it's going to go down for 4 runs. Whether they are indeed off the bat. I think it was a bottom edge as she went for the sweep. 72 for 3 as Barnes bowls to Penner full toss, and that's played away down to deep backward square leg for 4 runs. A loose delivery from Olivia Barnes.
Not a lot of sort of clear blue sky, but the sun is forcing its way through. It's just hit in the air, and it's a good catch at short fine leg. That's a big wicket. Griffith has gone, and Somerset are fielding well here.
It's Olivia Barnes again. As Griffiths in bowls, this is driven in the air over the top. That's going to run away for 4 runs to Maddie Penner. She's bowling now to Maddie Penner. This is shorter, it's pulled, and that will go for 4. Yeah. Giving the neither of the leg sides. Anderson is in and bowls slower ball, and that's up in the air, could be a chance, and it's very well caught at short third. Umpire Watson in and bowls, and this is a switch hit. A very effective switch hit as well from Sophia Smale. Griffiths bowls. This is in the air and just wide of, I think that's Amanda Jane Wellington at mid-off. Wasn't a chance.
It's relatively warm. It's not a cool breeze. This is picked up in the air and hit away nicely for 4 runs. She really is batting well here, Smale. Didn't have much of a chance on Friday night, but this is an important innings for her and the side.
You need to be if you're a leg spinner. This is swiped down the ground. And it's gone for 6. Handsome blow. Well, I'm not handsome blow. It was
Robbins in her final over. She bowls. Oh, bowls! Oh dear! Complete mess up that from Smell. She was in three different minds. I think she was thinking of a reverse hit at one point, then she changed her mind, and in the end the ball was onto her off stump. Blue sky now. Here's a good looking strike. That's good indeed from Gray. She's not been pinned down. She's picked that up and she's hit it over mid wicket for 6, so all credit to her. She's new to the crease.
Of Winfield Hill. She's in and bowls. This is swung away in the air and caught at mid wicket, and well, just again what Somerset would have wanted at the start of this last over. She's in bowls, and this is up in the air. Should be. It's going to land safe, in fact, between 3 fielders. The throw comes into the wicketkeeper's end, and she flicks it onto the stumps, does Bex Odgers. But Eva Gray is safely home, so it's 149 for 7. She comes Koffak to Odgers, is dropped by that self-same slip. Well, to Odgers, who lofts this away through the onside for 6. Koffak bowls to Odgers, short again, and this time she is caught. She does get a nick on it, and well caught by Lauren Winfield Hill, the Essex wicketkeeper, and that's a big blow to Somerset hopes.
It's Corney who's had all the striking miss over so far, and she backs away and goes for a big swing and it's bowled. Slightly ungainly shot, probably not needed at that point, because Somerset have been gifted a few runs with the extras.
2 on the on. Got back in and bowls. This is driven nicely away through the offside. That'll be 4 runs. That's the best shot. Bumpy. This is driven back to the past the bowler for 4 runs. I think it's going to beat the fielders to the boundary. Over-pitched that from Kate Koffak, and Fran Wilson into Wilson, who strokes this away through the offside. I think the chase is on, but I think the ball's going to win, and it does indeed, speeding across the outfield.
Here's McGregor, bowls again. That's hit in the air. Now, this could be a catch. It really should be at mid-wicket, and it's taken. And that is a big wicket, because Penner got into line.
Gray in and bowls. Oh, it's bowled! She's bowled! Sophie Luff is bowled. Oh, it's a good ball as well. She was going for the off drive. It came back and went between bat and pad. And that is the end of Sophie Luff. And Gray in and bowls to her. Oh, she gets an inside edge. She's down for 4 runs, but that could so easily have gone back onto her stumps and been a 5th wicket.
Varying success so far. A couple of very good shots. Maksud bowls. This one's hit in the air. Could be caught. It's a big moment, and it's taken at short fine leg. And that is the end of Wilson. And Maksud has another bowler to strike in her first over.
She's in and bowls. This is pulled away through the onside for 4 runs. Nice pick-up shot.
And she bowls again, floating it up. Beautiful bowling, and she's bowled up. Lovely stuff from Maksud. Really has been a lovely exhibition these first 2 overs.
Here's McGregor in and bowls. This is lofted, and it's caught. And that is another wicket. That's the 7th Somerset wicket to go down.
And in she comes again. Smell, that's the driven, lofted drive. Good looking shot, and that goes away to the long off boundary. It's going to be 4.
She's bowling to Amanda Jade Wellington, who lost this. It's gone high. There's a fielder underneath it who takes the catch. And that is the end of Amanda Jade Wellington, and probably the end.
77 for 8. It is 73 from 38. This is lofted away. It's a good looking shot over mid-off, going up towards the long off boundary. And I don't think that's going to be stopped. That was a nice stroke from Skelton.
Going down here at Chelmsford. This is driven, and it's going to be caught. And that's the 9th Somerset wicket to go down. 84 now for 9, with the skipper, Grace Scrivens, taking a
to our coverage from Chelmsford of the latest match in this year's Vitality Blast women's competition, which sees Essex up against the Birmingham Bears, or sometimes called the Warwickshire women. I've seen various descriptions of them actually, but they're described as the Birmingham Bears on our scorecard. And it's a reasonable evening here. It's cloudy. We have had some unexpected light shower in the last half hour, which wasn't particularly forecast. But the forecast suggests we're going to be set reasonably fair. We've got heavy cloud, little areas of lighter sky, some blue sky, and the sun is still making attempts to fleetingly come in and out. And let's hope it's going to be a relatively pleasant evening. So this match between two sides who are doing pretty well in the competition. We've got Essex, who have won one and lost one more on that at the moment, and the Warwickshire side, who have won a game and tied a game. So both of those sides doing pretty well. Warwickshire have won the toss and have chosen to field. Essex are unchanged. Shrivens, Winfield Hill, McLeod, Griffith, Penner, Gardner, Smale, Gray, Kopak, McGregor and Max.
So, a very good evening to our Guard of Honour from Dunmow Cricket Club. Get your flags ready, guys. Flags are ready, umpires are out. Good evening to Rob Bailey and Gabby Brown.
Georgia Davis.
And now let's welcome our visitors this evening, led by Captain Georgia Davis. It's the Bears.
Hawks were in at the top. They had a huge win at Old Trafford today, so they've got 2 out of 2, 8 points. Then it's the Bears women on 7, the Blaze are on 6, and Surrey women and Essex women tied on 5 place. And Essex got a bonus point. When they got 5 points, as indeed the fact that the Bears have got an odd number in 7, is that both have had...
Right, let's hear it now for the first two Essex batters, number 29, Grace Scrivens, and number 56, Lauren Winfield Hill.
And I don't expect cloud on my visit to Costa del Chelmsford. It's normally sunny here, and it's a little bit cloudy, but I think we'll be okay as the umpires, Rob Bailey and Gabby Brown, have made their way out to the middle. And as is the fashion these days in T20 cricket, it's win the toss and elect to field. So Warwickshire, in their resplendent sky blue kit, are already out there, and the Essex in a more of a navy blue.
Opening the bowling from the Graham Gooch end, number 95, Izzy Wong.
Lauren Winfield Hill are making their way out there.
Yeah.
Good evening, Guy.
Evening, Dan. Evening. Yes, Issy Wong about to open the bowling. So an England international first up for these two.
Yeah, it's quite big boundaries, especially towards the pavilion here. Slightly shorter over towards the scoreboard side and the Felsted School side of the ground here.
Lauren Winfield Hill is wearing some terrific shoes. They're very orange and very yellow. And
I can see you in a pair of those, Guy.
yeah,
in the
man, you
nightclubs
have
of
seen me in a
Suffolk.
pair. You have seen me in a pair, I'm sure. Should be a good battle between these two.
Yeah, Izzy Wong's one of the quickest around, isn't she?
And Lauren Winfield Hill's top scored in Essex's 2 matches so far. So
Yeah, so 2 outside in the power play. You've got a third. And I think a fine leg. Anyway, here is Izzy Wong. And that's going to be a wide. So Essex open their account. It's coming from the Graham Gooch end.
yes, not Izzy Wong. It's ball swinging a bit though. A little too much there for Izzy Wong, but it's doing a bit, and you can understand why she is just flinging the arms around to loosen up the shoulders a bit.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a loosener, wasn't it? That's a thick outside edge. It's going to run away to the boundary, and that's going to be 4 runs down towards the Sir Alistair Cook end. And if you're going to flash hard, Guy.
Yeah, terrific placement, wasn't it? Wide of first slip, not quite at point. But you could, the sound the ball
That's a
made
thick
off the
outside
bat, you could
edge.
tell
It's
she
going to
got
run away
quite
to
a
the
lot of it.
boundary, and that.
and it really did race to the boundary.
I got the majority of my runs in my career down through that.
You paid for the whole bat.
Here's Wong approaching the crease. Just pushed into the covers where Suren Kumar does the fielding and throws the ball into the gloves of Abby Freeborn.
Yeah, it's been an interesting season for the Bears so far with that tie with 160 runs each. Remarkable match against the Blaze.
Full by Wong, and that's a great stop between the two of them, and Lauren Winfield Hill had to scamper home there, but I'm not sure how that happened. I think Suren Kumar dummied Laura Harris there, but she managed to stop it because that had 4 runs written all over it.
Yeah, good teamwork, I think, on that occasion.
Wong's going to come around the wicket to the left-handed Scrivens. The Essex skipper.
Yes, hasn't set the world alight with the bat yet this season. Be looking for a few runs. Naught 15 and 1 so far.
That's a big shout for LBW. Not given, and they'll come through for a leg by as umpire Gabby Brown taps her thigh. In the 50-over game that I covered here earlier in the season, she got 25, and Essex started really well. That's a big shout for LBW. Close, actually.
It looked close. I'm guessing the umpire thought possibly sliding down leg. She did bowl it from pretty wide of the crease, but it was tight.
I think when you're coming around the wicket, you diminish your chances of an LBW, don't you? You've got to be pitching it middle, or either hitting someone on the full, pitching it middle and straightening it. Full and driven through the covers pleasantly by Winfield Hill. Long chase out there for Suren Kumar, who hauls it in just before the boundary. It's great work. But Essex run 3. This is a good start.
Yeah, it was really stroked through the covers, wasn't it? It was a lovely shot, all about the timing. And 9 off the over already, including that big-ish LBW shout, and you can see why S.E. Wong was quite pleased with it.
Last ball the over. And that's just pushed into the covers, and Essex will be 10 without loss in the first over of the power play.
Yeah, decent start, isn't it?
Yeah. What would you be looking at, do you think, Guy, for the power play here? 45, 50?
Certainly 50, I'd have thought.
Yeah.
If you 50 from 6 overs and you've set yourself up nicely. But if you haven't lost any wickets, you'd settle for 40.
You build a foundation then, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
And for the Bears, what are they looking at? Do you think they're looking at 2 wickets, maybe 3?
It's a good question, isn't it? You'd have thought if you can get 2, then you've probably set off in the right direction. 3 a bonus. Yeah, Suren Kumar is into the attack, having done some pretty energetic fielding. She's bowling from the Sir Alistair Cook end. Just waiting for everyone to be ready. Clipped nicely off the back foot that into the deep cover region. It'll only be 1. It's fielded on the second attempt, but perfectly safely by Anna Baker.
I think the trick is not just the power play, but when it goes pace off after that, that's when you can really squeeze aside, can't you?
The one thing you find as well with the women's T20 I've noticed this year is the amount of spinners, which really does say, right, if you want runs, you're going to have to hit me out of the ground. Suren Kumar is in again. That's nicely played by Grace Scrivens, but straight to the fielder.
She's technically correct, isn't she, Scrivens? Plays in the V.
Yeah, broke through into the Sunrisers side some time ago. She's made the England under-19s, but yet to make the next jump up. That is a shot. She has picked the gap. Look at that. It's threaded through two fielders. Absolutely glorious shot for 4.
Well, she's a left-hander, and David Gow would be proud of that one, wouldn't he? He really would be. It was a glorious shot through extra cover.
That is a shot.
Elegance.
She has picked the gap. Look at that. It's threaded through two fielders. Impressive with that shot.
Yeah.
The fielders are out there for it.
Graceful from Grace.
Pitched up that little bit more, wasn't it, that time, and couldn't quite nail it as she had the previous delivery.
Cloud's just looking a little bit threatening over to our right.
Yes, you probably noticed it on your TV screens that it's pretty grey out there at the moment. Round the wicket from Suryan Kumar, and that's driven nicely again. Scrivens looking to get on with it, but again she finds the fielder. It's a good battle so far between these two. We've had the one glorious extra cover drive, but otherwise Suryan Kumar has kept Scrivens largely under control. Trying to find that gap again, and she finds it. She finds it, absolutely nails it once again. I think that was an even smaller gap than the first boundary of this over, and she's absolutely nailed it. 9 off the over, 19 without loss after 2. Decent start for Essex.
Yeah, I think the Bears might have worked out that Scrivens can
Trying to find that gap again, and she finds it.
She
finds it, absolutely nails it once again.
Which is what
I think that was an
Kumar
even
did
smaller
on a couple
gap
of
than the
occasions,
first boundary of this over pitch slightly on that one, and paid the penalty.
We're going to have a bowling change. Is that Callis coming into the attack?
Pavely. Cheris Pavely into the attack.
So Bears are going pace off early in the power play when you're only allowed 2 outside the inner circle.
It kind of makes sense. They've seen the quicker bowlers go for 19 in the first 2 overs, so pace off probably isn't the worst idea.
Yeah, they've got deep cover and a deep mid-wicket. Slow left arm of Pavely, and that goes out to the aforementioned deep cover. I think that's Katie George out on the line out there. So Pavely's going to come over the wicket now to the left-handed Scrivens. There's no one on the 45, so I don't know if we're going to see a lap sweep perhaps. That's driven back to the bowler.
Yep. Decent length and line.
Yeah, nice flight as well. Short, and they're going to scamper a leg by. It's nice to see people getting it up and above the eye line, a spinner giving it a bit of loop.
I couldn't agree more because, yeah, spinning in certain areas of the game is just getting quicker and flatter.
Yeah.
And nice to see a little bit of air as well these days.
Yeah, it's very... you're seeing it a lot in the men's T20 where they're just bowling darts, and it's short and whipped into the leg side.
Yeah.
So Essex just milking the singles at the moment.
Decent field setting, though, isn't it? Just protecting, particularly during the power play. It's decent captaincy.
Yeah, and she's bowling to her field as well. That's just nurdled into the onside. They might look at 2 here.
Thought about it,
They
didn't they?
did, yeah. She just got it into the pocket, didn't she? But
Nice use of the feet by Grace Scrivens there as well.
yeah, Wong's very quick off that line, though.
Yes, she is one of the quickest fielders around.
Keeps it down to a single. But Essex can do this. They've had 2 good overs in the power play. It's just tickled around the corner again. Scrivens was on her bike. She wanted to possibly look at the single there, but
It was her call as well, wasn't it? Yeah.
Anyway, that completes the 3rd over. Essex 23 without loss. Winfield Hills on 11. Scrivens on 9. Listen to me, Dan Whiting, and I'm with Guy Swindles. And we've got Nick Ledhill in with us as well. He'll be joining us soon.
Yeah, it's just on the subject of Georgia Davis, the Bears captain. We should say happy birthday. It was her birthday yesterday. So
Happy birthday. Will we get some cake delivered up to the commentary box, Guy?
well, or the food voucher would be nice. Being very fussy. It's the captain bringing herself on the day after her birthday. So Georgia Davis deciding spin is the way to go after seeing those first 2 expensive overs. She is now on from the Sir Alistair Cook end. Right arm round and doesn't quite get that where she wanted to, Grace Scrivens. I think she was trying to hit it straighter. Ended up in the hands of mid-on. Not wasting any time, Georgia Davis either. Scrivens comes down the wicket. Oof! And only just clears mid-on, but mid-on is cleared and it goes all the way for 4. Despite a decent dive to try and stop things down on the boundary.
Yeah, match officials today.
Wasting any
Rob
time,
Bailey,
Georgia Davis either. Scrivens comes
Gary
down the
Brown,
wicket.
and
Oof!
your match referee.
Only just
this little
clears
cricket loopy, it's
mid-on,
Steve
but
Davis.
mid-on. Very good. For those of a certain age.
One for the kids there, Guy.
You're down with them, I understand. And that's played nicely off the back foot up to mid-on, no run. Georgia Davis, and that's swung away really nicely. That's a lovely shot. Almost taking it from middle stump, Grace Scrivens, but she nails that sweep shot. Davis was upset with herself because she knows she gave the opportunity for that shot. Swung away really nicely. That's a lovely shot.
Stump there. If she'd have missed that, she'd have been in trouble.
Yep. Yes, I think various blippy lights would have been on the bails if that had been the case. Oh, and Grace Scrivens has come down. She hasn't got all of that. And in the end is a little bit lucky. They'll come back for 2. She was going for the big, big hit over mid-off and very nearly skewed it to the fielder.
Yeah, Callis doing the fielding.
But Grace Scrivens, not without the odd alarm, has reinvigorated the scoreboard in this over. Oh, and that's a lovely shot. Again, stepping outside off stump and big, big sweep. And in the end, 14 scoreboard in this over. And you can't say that George Davis
that's a lovely shot.
Again, stepping outside off stump. And, we might have just a few spots of rain again.
Fantastic start, though, for the hosts. They'll be really pleased with this. And if it does rain and DLS does come into play, Essex will be, getting a quick start like this with no wickets down can often come into it, can't it? And I think they'll be really, really pleased if this game is rain affected. Essex have got off to a flyer here.
Yes, they really have. I think Issy Wong's coming back into the attack, interestingly.
Yeah, looks like it. The light's going to be in use. In fact, the umpires are having a conflab here.
Rob Bailey didn't look as if he wanted the conflab quite as much as his umpiring partner. But Gabby Brown, what's she...
They're staying out there. The players are staying out there.
There's something going on, isn't there?
Have they lost the ball?
Oh.
2 players have gone behind where that last shot went, down towards the Graham Gooch end, where it meets the Felsted School stand. So,
and there are no fans in that area to help look. And Rob Bailey does appear to be wandering off to get another pill, as the lights come on, as you suggested, Dan. As if by magic. Oh, they found it. Well done. Well done, the explorers.
Meanwhile, Rob Bailey's probably searching through his kit bag for a box of balls.
You're absolutely right. The delay was because no one could find the ball, but at least Rob Bailey will have a spare now if it happens again.
Do they still use 2 white balls? They give one back to the umpire at the end of the over and they have one from each end? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. It's a rhetorical question.
I think so.
Yeah. I think the reason they did that a few years ago was because the balls were discolouring, weren't they?
Yeah. Well done, Katie George and partner, for finding the ball. Izzy Wong looks happy with it.
Here comes Wong. That's a pleasant shot by Winfield Hill. Drills it out to deep extra, where Surun Kumar is patrolling in front of the pavilion here at the Ambassador Cruise Line ground in the heart of Chelmsford. Wong's going to come around the wicket now to the left-handed Scrivens. Oh, that beats her outside. The bat's got very high backlift, I've noticed, Scrivens, hasn't she? Seems to be, you know, the fashion these days.
Yes, she almost changed her mind mid-shot and ended up not playing anything very much. And in danger of dabbing for a moment there and getting the edge. But Izzy Wong will be delighted with getting the ball past the bat.
Here is Wong. Short and tickled round the corner, helped round on the 45, and that will run away past the short fine leg for 4 runs. Loose delivery there from Wong.
Yeah, and Grace Scrivens is yet again finding the gaps in the field.
Short really and tickled round the corner, helped round.
Put in the
on the 45, and that will run away.
Try and stop that shot, but she played it so well. Not a chance. 4 more.
But the field's set. It's a 5-4, so you've got a mid-on, a mid-wicket, a short fine leg, and then Surun Kumar out at deep backward square. So you want to keep it really outside the off stump. Slower ball. Wong just rolling her fingers across it. It's like misfield. They think about a second. You never run on a misfield, do you, Guy?
And never. No, not if you want to stay in. And also, I felt for Hannah Baker there. The ball was spinning a bit, and she caught it up with it fairly late. So she did what all good fielders should do, which is get as much of the body behind the ball as possible. Make sure it hits something, which she did.
My kneecaps are a testament to that. Played into the covers. Good sharp fielding. And they thought about one shy at the stumps.
It's probably worth a shy.
Yeah. She was sent back there by Scrivens. It was Winfield Hill. She's a bit slow turning. Wasn't
Yeah,
she?
it was definitely worth a dart.
Maybe slight slippery surface.
Davina Perrin with the attempt.
That's a shot. On drive there. Crashes into the advertising boards at the Graham Gooch end. And that was 4 runs from the moment it left the bat. 5 overs gone. Essex, 47 without
with the
loss.
attempt.
Guy, you said 50 would probably be about right. That's
a
a
shot.
shot. On drive there.
Yeah.
Crashes into the
And the Bears will be probably slightly disappointed they haven't managed to put more pressure on these two. We've seen the bat beaten, once, maybe twice. And there was the one loose shot from Grace Scrivens that could have fallen into the hands of a fielder, but that is literally it.
Yeah, 1 over left in the power play. It does look a very good surface, though, doesn't it? It looks like there's nothing really in it for the seam bowlers.
Well, we're having a change after she went rather expensively, Georgia Davis. Charis Pavley is switching ends.
It does aid the spinners here, though, doesn't it, Chelmsford? It's a certain Mr. Harmer.
Yeah,
Testify.
he hasn't looked as if he wanted to move much in the last 10 years or so. And that's just over pitched, and it's driven superbly. On it very quickly indeed was Grace Scrivens. It was a full toss, and it was given the treatment. Scrivens, if he wanted to move much in the last 10 years or so.
Yeah,
and that's the 50
just
partnership, over pitched, and it's driven superbly. On it,
driving with it through the covers or straight down the ground has been an absolute joy to watch, hasn't it?
When you think that there was 1 over that only went for 4, this is pretty impressive batting from these two. Decent wicket as well. That's a better delivery. And Scrivens almost has to dig it out. Well bowled.
Yeah, nice late dip there. It's got a nice action, actually, hasn't she?
Yes, I think Rob Bailey was impressed with that. He was just sort of pointing out the dippage. But if you're short, that's what happens, and it's been clattered this time. Not the most elegant of Grace Scrivens' shots so far, but it didn't have to be. It was just there. It was short, and it's been absolutely punished.
Yeah, I think if you're slightly
But
too
if
full
you're
on
short,
this pitch,
that's
you get driven, and if you're slightly short, it just sits up, doesn't it? And there's a lot of time to play your shot.
I'm just wondering which way the weather's coming from. Anyway, let's hope for the best. That in the end, no delivery from Pavley as she made her way up to the stumps, but Grace Scrivens had stepped away. Everyone's now ready again. Oh, and she's stumped. Well bowled. Grace Scrivens taking 1 charge too many, but that's her best score and her best innings this season by a distance. 36 off 22. 55 before the first wicket falls. Excellent. And
Yeah, good stuff from Scrivens there. She's given her side a platform here. She's put the foundations in for Essex to get an imposing total. And it's just what they needed in the power play. Good fast start. Not many wickets lost.
And she's stumped.
And she's done a really good job for her team. In fact, we're coming off for rain by the look of it.
And she's stumped. If you're out the final ball before a rain break. But it does look as if the rain's coming down harder, and there's a great deal of dark cloud coming in that we could see above the Graham Gooch end. And I think the umpires and the ground staff are absolutely right. They're racing on the ground staff, sprinting at the moment to try and get the wicket covered as quickly as possible, because hopefully we won't be off for too long and this will blow through. But at the moment, the covers come on here at the Ambassador Cruise Line Ground in Chelmsford. Winfield Hill, 16 not out from 11. McLeod hasn't faced a ball as yet, and the unlucky Grace Scrivens stumped on the final ball before they came off.
I blame you, Guy. You tell me how tropical it is here, the weather. You said bring your Speedos.
Yeah, absolutely. It's It's the Riviera. It's East Anglia. We don't have rain, so this is very unlucky. Particularly as it wasn't really forecast either. But yes, well, an interesting start. And a good one as far as the Essex women are concerned. But we'll be back when the weather improves, as we just watch that stumping again. And just giving the charge one too many times. But we'll leave you, I'm afraid, with the covers and the rain. And we'll be with you when play gets underway again.
Welcome back to Chelmsford, and the good news is that the covers have been removed and the umpires, Rob Bailey and Gabby Brown, are on their way out to the middle. My name's Dan Whiting and I'm joined by Guy Swindles. Guy, cricket's back. I know. When that huge black cloud came over the ground, it's slightly concerning, but now we do have quite a bright sky. The floodlights are on, and as you can see, the batters are waiting to come out again. The fielders are in a huddle fairly close by to them. And we've got 14 overs a side. That's right. It's going to be 14 overs a side. I should imagine that when the Bears bat, that their DLS will go slightly up from whatever Essex gets. So, for instance, if, say, Essex end up on 130, I think the Bears' total that they'll need to get could be about 140, 145. But don't take that as gospel. I have been wrong on many an occasion. No, but we got the implication that it will be a slightly higher because we've only got 2 balls left of the original power play, which will change for 14 overs. But the Bears now making their way to the crease, and we've got 2 balls left of Charis Pavley's over to get through. She had literally just had Grace Scrivens stumped for 36, the ball before they came off for the rain, which you do feel as if poor old Grace Scrivens got slightly unlucky there, but with Winfield Hill still there, Lauren Winfield Hill, who's been so impressive this season, and although she's only faced 11 balls, she has 16. And Lissy McLeod will be joining her. Yes, Scrivens really impressed me. Some of her driving through the covers and down the ground were a joy to watch. And anything slightly offline as well, she swept with aplomb, didn't she? Absolutely nailed the sweeps. Well, we'll just go through the final 2 balls of this, the 6th over. Punched away nicely on the back foot. There's certainly one, and they'll leave it there. Good throw in from out in the deep from the busy Hannah Baker, who's done quite a lot of the fielding so far. So this will be Lissy McLeod off the mark. Field changing for Lauren Winfield Hill. That's launched. What a shot that is. 1 bounce 4. Absolutely terrific. It looks effortless from Winfield Hill. And what had been a pretty decent over, it's gone for 13, but a big wicket in there as well. So 60 for 1 after 6, which I think Essex would have settled for when they went into bat. Certainly would. So there's 8 overs left with 9 wickets in hand. Essex can really go all guns blazing here, can't they? They can really go at this hard, and hopefully, 8 overs, if they can score at 10 and over, gives them something around the 140 mark. Yes, Lauren Winfield Hill on loan from Yorkshire. Hannah Baker is coming into the attack from the Graham Gooch end. Leg spinner. On the money straight away, though. Yeah, I believe that the ends here, the Graham Gooch end used to be called the Hayes Close end. Yep. And I'll come on to it after this ball. Tossed up and driven pleasantly, and they'll scamper through for a single. So that end of the ground faces London, where Graham Gooch was born in Leytonstone, and this end of the ground faces Malden, I believe, which is where Sir Alistair Cook is the former from. River end. Yes, and the Hayes Close end. Yeah. Oh, that's swept, misses everything though, and umpire Gabby Brown gives it a wide. Yeah, I don't think she had much choice, the umpire, on that occasion. It was pretty wide of the leg stump. That's the first wide of the innings as well. It's cut, and a slight misfield there. They're going to look for 2, but Wong's got a good arm and is quick in off that boundary rope. Yeah, I think Wong bowled one first ball of the game, didn't she?
Yes, absolutely, you're quite right.
You know, they've been very disciplined. That's over the top of extra cover. That's a lovely shot there from Lizzie McLeod.
Yes, in the first T20 tournament of the year, she did pretty well, Lizzie McLeod. 64 in the match against Yorkshire, so she's put together 1/2 century so far this season.
Yeah, she looks a good player. Tossed up, attempted sweep. Doesn't get anything on it. I've worked on commentary with a couple of the Essex women as well. Eva Gray, she does some work for the BBC.
Yep.
And Jo Gardner as well.
Yes.
It's hoiked into the leg side.
Yes, Jo Gardner, I think,
Just going to be one.
is usually volunteered. When I was doing the Sunrisers stream for a few times, Jo used to be small arm twist, and she'd be up to help out. Yep.
Well, I hope she continues playing for a long time, because she's a damn good commentator. And I don't want her taking our job, Guy.
It'll happen one day.
Anyway, that's the end of the 7th. 68 for 1. Winfield Hill, she's 21 off just 13 balls, and McLeod 7 off 6. Grace Scrivens, the person out. She made a fine 36 before walking past one and giving a easy stumping to Abby Freeborn.
Well, another change of bowling. Millie Taylor in. That is very nicely swept away all along the ground. Decent piece of fielding as well. It's a couple of runs. Nice air on the delivery as well. Just bringing some of the fielders a little closer. That's clubbed away, and it goes for 4.
Lee Taylor's left arm out the back of the hand. You don't see many of those, do you? Brad Hogg was one a few years ago. I think it's called left arm unorthodox these days, isn't it?
Quite so. And was, yes, but if it's a full wide, it doesn't matter what it's called, it's going to go for 4 over log off. Good, mainly stop. Keeps them down to 1.
Yeah, you don't get many bowlers who bowl in such a fashion. It's unusual. Normally finger spinners who bowl left arm.
Oh, and that's straight to square leg. And despite it being nicely timed by Lauren Winfield Hill, she didn't keep the ball down. Decent catch as well. And that's a big, big wicket as far as the Bears are concerned.
Yeah, she certainly got it out of the screws, didn't she? But it was a decent catch.
So a wicket in a first over for Millie Taylor. And Lauren Winfield Hill looks understandably slightly frustrated to be walking off. 21 from 14. She carried on her excellent work so far this season, but didn't go on to the big score. It looked as if she was almost inevitably going to head for. Decent catch diving forward, that.
It's a very good catch. So that brings Maddie Penner to the crease.
Head of Cordelia Griffin. Oh, well, with just the 14 overs to go, we're over halfway through the innings now.
Rob Bailey does a lot of umpiring, doesn't he?
Every match I've covered this season seems to be Rob Bailey and another. This is about the 8th or 9th match
Yeah.
Rob and I have pitched up together. Well, Maddie Penner from Australia. Nicely played. The 38 against Hampshire, 19 against Somerset. She also bowls a bit as well. Times that nicely, but there is a fielder out there for just that shot. Just the single. Decent over then in the end from Millie Taylor, with the very big wicket indeed of Lauren Winfield Hill.
Yeah, I like the look of Taylor. She's accurate for a wrist spinner. Paul Adams was another one who used to bowl left arm out the back of the hand. Do you remember? He had an unusual action.
Frog in a blender.
Yes,
yeah.
indeed.
Yep.
But going back to umpires, I had a little spell last year where I did a game in Bristol between Gloucestershire and Essex, actually. Jack Shantry was umpiring. And I did Glamorgan v Surrey on the Friday. Jack Shantry was umpiring. Then went back to the Oval and did Surrey v Kent. And Jack Shantry was there. And he looked at me. And I thought he was going to put a restraining order on me at one point. Davis. That's just tickled into the leg side for a single. Went for 14 off her first over, so a little bit expensive. But I wonder if that rain has just slowed up the outfield a tad. That's gone up in the air, but it's straight. And is it going to bisect the fielders? No, great work out from long off. And, ooh.
Ouch.
Penner had to get her skates on then. Good throw in. But McLeod is a hard-hitting player, isn't she? That's over the top. That could run away. Is he going to kick on with a slice? No, the outfield. That rain has just slowed it down in certain areas of the ground. And another couple onto the total. McLeod's now onto 18 from 11 balls. Essex 81 for 2.
Issy Wong, the fielder, again there, and boy is she putting in a stint.
Swept. That's 4 runs. Lovely shot. Just picked it straight away, picked the lengths, and it wasn't really on leg stump, but she fetched it and got it back with a square.
It's interesting, you're just seeing the replay again, and this seems to be very much an Essex thing, that step out well outside off stump and sweep.
Going offside, playing leg side. Or we might find later that they go outside their leg stump and play through the offside. We've seen one cover drive like that over the top. Davis in. That's gone straight to the fielder. Good field positioning. Just one more.
One bounce. I think there might have been a slight heart in the mouth moment.
Yeah. That's up to mid-on, and they think about it. Yes, they're going to come through. They've got to be quick. Oh, that was close.
It was a decent throw, wasn't it, after the misfield?
McLeod was dawdling a little bit there. Didn't think she was going to think it was going to... I think she thought it wasn't going to come to her end.
Exactly. The danger end was the other one, but good fielding after the initial mistake.
Anyway, that's the end of the 9th. Essex 87 for 2, and in a position here to really kick on. I think I might have been a little bit conservative with my 140 guy.
Well, you're bang on schedule. Well, slightly below schedule currently. 87 from 9.
Yeah, I think I've undercooked it.
Well, I think you could be about right, because it's hard to accelerate from 10 and over.
True. Yeah.
You're already going at a pretty decent lick. And Charis Pavley, who's been the one bowler who looks as if she can apply the brakes periodically. Sorry, Hannah Baker is into the attack. Ooh. And that does fall safe. Well positioned.
Yeah, she's got away with that, hasn't she? Didn't really get hold of that.
No, fell between the two fielders nicely. Oh, bit of a misfield. They should turn back for 2, which they do. Oh, and you can see how slippery the outfield is at the moment as well, as Amo Surinkama took a bit of a tumble out there.
You're a harsh man, Garth. Well, that's a good bit of fielding.
Well, no, but she lost it. It was a good bit of fielding, but you can see how slippy the outfield is, because it would have only been 1. That's really nicely bowled, but also nicely played. Driven down the ground for another single.
I bet when you played, you were one of those bowlers. Any misfields off your bowling, there would be the double teapot and the glare.
Absolutely. That obvious. And that's turned into a full toss and is dispatched for 4. A lovely shot from Penna, who's beginning to get her eye in by the sides looks of things, and you can understand why she has possibly been promoted up the order a place. Quickly, though, Cordelia Griffith can score. And the bowlers, it's interesting, because we do have spinners largely doing all the bowling, and it is difficult when the ball is wet. And see the towel that they're carrying, leans back, plays that nicely out into the covers, and they go through for an easy 1.
I think since the rain's come down, I think you've got to go into the pitch and actually force them to cut and to pull to the longer boundaries. I think anything too full is just going to go straight to the shorter boundaries down the ground here.
They decide to go for the quick single, but they put pressure on the fielder, who makes a bit of a ricket of that, and they can pop through for an easy 1. So another decent over, 10 from it, 97 now from 10. 4 overs left in this truncated Essex innings after the rain earlier today.
Yeah, I think with 8 wickets in the hutch as well, it will be like those adverts on after Christmas for furniture companies where everything must go.
But not yet. I've seen teams do that, the charge, and
Yeah.
lose the impetus. And
No, I agree. Yeah. So
we were just sorting some.
Taylor going to come back from the Graham Gooch end, I think, isn't she?
Yep, Millie Taylor.
Tossed up and goes out to mid-wicket for just a single. So there are limits on bowlers now as well, where I should imagine that 4 can bowl 3 and 1 can bowl 2. That scream down the ground, gun barrel straight, lovely shot there from Penna. And she gets 4 penneth.
Yes, umpire Gabby Brown had to take evasive manoeuvres there as it was heading for her at pace. Oh, nice. Very cool indeed, looking at that, the way she just swayed out of the way.
That's gone big. In fact, that's into the flats. That's huge.
That's the first 6 of the game, isn't it?
Yeah.
And a big 6 too.
Yeah, going back to umpires and avoiding the ball, someone who stands, at club level, you back yourself to, get away from it from 22 yards. But what you don't want is the quick bowler who sticks out a boot and deflects it onto you from about 4 yards away. You've got no time to go anywhere then.
Absolutely right. Well, poor old Rob Bailey earlier had to come in and get another replacement ball, and he's got the long march again. He's been at the wrong end both times.
He's picked the wrong end here, isn't he?
Yeah, Penner and McLeod having a decent chat. Sure, just looking forward to watching the 6 over the Felsted School stand later on the highlights from this stream this evening.
That was a big old hit. That was 6 on any ground.
It was clean, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely clean as a whistle. So Penner has raced to 19 from just 9.
There's me talking about, the Bears need to try and make Essex hit sideways here to the longer boundaries rather than straight down the ground. And Penner's just put that theory in the bin, hasn't she, by playing one over sort of mid-wicket. And it went actually out of the ground into the flats. And it's probably keeping the glaziers of Essex in business.
Well, Rob Bailey, having had another trip to the umpire's room to pick up the ball. Interesting, Gabby Brown whisked it away from him and gave it the inspection and said, "You'll be off again in a minute."
Penner bats for another few overs. I reckon there might be another one going out the ground. In fact, I'm a bit worried about my automobile guy.
Yes, well, there's a good hit to hit the car park from here.
Yeah, Ollie Sykes put one over there last year, and I did ask him if he had shares in panel beaters.
That is a good hit.
I think we were playing about 3 or 4 pitches further over. But yeah, definitely bounced off the roof of the executive boxes. Taylor's going to come around the wicket. Hoiked again, this time for 4. And Penner is on the charge here.
Just a little too short again, wasn't it, from Taylor?
She waited for it and venomously pulled it through mid-wicket. That seems to be her region. That's short. That's 4 more.
You feel for a bowler sometimes when someone is clambering into you, it's really hard to reconcentrate after every ball.
Yeah, I think it was a huge mistake to switch Taylor in. She went for 8 from the Alistair Cook end. With the longer boundary, she's a left-arm wrist spinner, so she's turning the ball into a right-hander, and she's got the longer boundary to bowl out when she's from the Alistair Cook end. They've switched her ends, and she's gone for 19 or 5 balls.
Yep.
That's in the air. That could be out. It is. And that's the end of Penner, who departs for a bright and breezy 27 off just 12 balls. And it's given this Essex innings the acceleration it needed just at the right time. But she has to depart. She has to trudge back to the pavilion. And she's taken one for the team there, hasn't she?
She has, but what a job she's done for the team. And you're right, there's 3 overs and a ball left after this. It was worth the risk, particularly as she'd already clattered one over that particular stand. But it was nicely taken in the end. I hate those catches. You just have to wait for it to come down.
Yeah, especially there's been a little bit of rain around. The ball might be a little bit wet as well. although it's probably a new ball, seeing as the wet one is somewhere on someone's balcony in those flats, isn't it? But they're never easy.
And it was nice to see the fielder as well go up to Millie Taylor and see, there you go, you got her in the end. Because obviously she was feeling a bit, having gone for 19 in the first 5.
Yeah,
that completes the over. 116 for 3 at the end of the 11th. And Essex have got 3 overs to maximise this very positive start.
Indeed. 116 for 3. Who's into the firing line now? I think Georgia Davis, the skipper's brought herself back into the attack. Brave. Bowled 2 overs so far and gone for 25. There are times when the skipper has to stand up. And that keeps them down to a single. And Cordelia Griffith.
Yeah, she's related to Frankie Griffiths, the old, or Griffith, the old Derbyshire.
Yep.
Quick.
She's been a stalwart. She was with the Sunrisers before coming to Essex. Oh, and they go for a very quick single, and she is very quick between the wickets. Cordelia Griffith, but she had to be there. She got called through rightly. It was Lizzie McLeod's call, but that could have gone awry.
Yeah, good running.
Lizzie McLeod, 1 wants the strike, and 2 realises. Oh, and now it's Griffith who is taking the run straight to the fielder on the 45 at third man.
Yeah, I think they're working on the theory that the fielder picking it up cleanly and throwing the stumps down at the non-striker's end.
Full toss. Swung away. And Lizzie McLeod is running really, really well. There are extra runs suddenly emerging. Oh, and Griffith does well there, launches it over the protective cover fielders. And that's a cracking shot.
Yeah, a little bit too much width on offer, but Griffith going inside out and targeting the offside.
That was what you were saying, wasn't it? As well as stepping outside off to play to leg, step outside leg and play the Viv Richards over cover. Oh, and that forces the misfield. They went for the very quick single. Fielder couldn't pick it up. The boundary is saved brilliantly, but they're still going to trot through for a very easy 3.
That's fantastic work.
And in the end, that turned out to be quite an expensive over. 12 from it. 128 now for 3. 2 overs remaining. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's bingo time, as they call it.
Glad to see so many people have stayed this evening and enjoying the cricket here.
Yeah, this club does T20 cricket really well, doesn't it? It's people come in from, a lot of the towns around Essex. It's not just Chelmsford people. And I think the club does T20 cricket really well. Pavley into the attack. That's a wide, fired in. And I think she's just
slightly unlucky ones, isn't it? It was a wide.
Yeah, she's just a little bit conscious about bowling to a field here. As Griffith screams that one through the offside off the back foot. And Izzy Wong comes round, cuts it off, but they scamper through for 2. So the field, they've got 2 short thirds in. They've got Wong out patrolling the boundary in front of the pavilion, extra cover and mid-off on the offside.
Possibly.
That's down the leg side. That's going to be another wide.
Possibly slightly surprising that after the rain we've seen nothing of Issy Wong or Amasur and Karma, the seamers. It's been complete takeover on the spin front.
Hoiked into the leg side. And that's brilliant work out. Deep backwards square. Cuts off the boundary. Keeps them down to 2. But in games which are truncated like this, 2 runs can often be the difference at the end. And good fielding there.
Hannah Baker did brilliantly, didn't she, on that boundary rope?
Short from Pavley. And Griffiths probably hit that too well. She's got to be quick here. She's going to be out. No, she's not. She puts the dive in and gets home. That's a decent arm from Izzy Wong out there.
Well, we've been talking about it throughout the match that if you're going to take 2, the one person you really have to make sure that you're going full tilt is Issy Wong out there. But I think she's done herself a bit of a mischief, Cordelia Griffith. Diving, but getting herself up and brushing herself down.
See, this is why you and I don't put in the dive, isn't it, going?
I'd bounce.
I'd be on the Richter scale if I did it.
I'd be like Barnes Wallace.
Short, and it's clothed a little bit, but they'll come through for a single. So again, quite expensive.
With the 2 wides, yeah.
2 balls to go, and there's been 9 off the over so far. That's pulled into the leg side, fetched from outside off stump, and that's 4 more to McLeod, who moves into the 30s.
This is some knock.
34.
This is a really good knock by Issy McLeod. Coming in when she did, knowing that the overs have been cut, she had to put in the big innings, and she has.
Yeah, giving this innings some real impetus. That's down the ground. That could be 4 more as well. It is. It beats the fielder out in the deep.
That's bad luck. That's a really good effort.
17 off the over, 145 for 3 with 1 to go, and this is an imposing total.
Yeah, this is going to be... It's obviously a really decent batting track, and Essex are going to have to bowl well, but I think the understatement is they've given themselves a chance.
Just as you were asking the question, Izzy Wong comes back to bowl the final. I mean, she's your best bowler. You want her to bowl the final.
Well,
over,
yeah, you certainly the most experienced. She might not have fallen out of favour slightly with the England selectors, but she's been there and done that.
Big gaps on the leg side.
Yes,
I think there might be a lot of 2s here.
Yeah, she's going to have to bowl on or around off stump, looking at the field she has. She's coming right arm round to the right-hander and then bowls down the leg side, so it will be a wide. It's one of those... Yeah, it is a wide.
Yeah, Rob Bailey there doing a more than passable impression of Christ the Redeemer in Rio.
He should be put above Rio de Janeiro, absolutely. It'd be quite fun if there was a giant Rob Bailey. Oof.
Is that a no ball?
It was close to it. He's checking. I think it was just below waist height.
Gabby Brown just giving him the signal at square leg, saying it was under waist height.
Not much, though.
Borderline, yeah.
Watch this again. Got away with one, I think, there, as he won. Cordelia Griffiths, understandably. Oof, that barely bounced at all. There's slow bounces and there's that.
She's taken all the pace off that. That was the slowest of the slower balls.
Worked well, though.
Yeah.
Really hard to hit.
Yeah, I think if they go for sort of 7 or 8 off this final over, they'll take that, the Bears.
Yep. That's well bowled. And really well run. Lissy McLeod. Lissy McLeod really taking the Michael a little bit there, but Issy Wong is...
She's enjoying herself. It's great to see.
She can't believe it. You feel for the poor wicketkeeper. It's nicely played, but will only be a single.
Oh, look at me.
Did they get 2?
Yeah, they came back. Griffiths.
I wasn't even
quick.
looking. Griffiths really did put the afterburners on for that one.
Because McLeod was ambling, wasn't she?
Yeah, well, she thought it was only 1. I think like most of nearly everybody in the ground except for Cordelia Griffith. So 2 balls left. The 150 has been reached. Picked up nicely. Now, how many can they run? Because it's in the deep, deep, deep. They want 3, and they're going to get 3.
Oh, that's poor. That's poor. They held on to the ball there. Didn't get it away quickly enough.
Yeah, and Issy Wong almost didn't look interested. You thought she might have half a chance of the run out when the ball came, but instead she's more interested in... a little bit of the seam has... come adrift. Rob Bailey might not have had an extra ball, but those nail clippers are handy to have.
Yeah, has he got
lying
nail
around.
clippers or a knife?
Well provisioned. So, final delivery. 9 off the over so far. Without a boundary, which is good work. That should be out, and it is out. Wicket off the last ball then. Good slower ball from Issy Wong. Griffith wound up and missed it, but she finishes with 18 from 10. And Issy McLeod's innings comes to an end. 44 from 24 off the final ball of the 14 overs. And yes, well, the Bears need 155. Which is going to be tough.
It will be. Yeah, it's really good from Essex. They started with Scriven playing some gorgeous drives, 2 through extra cover in successive balls. At the beginning were a real highlight. She was aided and abetted by Lauren Winfield Hill, and they were out for 36 and 21 respectively. Penner then came out and hit some lusty blows, including one huge 6 over the Felsted School stand. And then McLeod and Griffith, with some sharp running towards the end, saw Essex up to an imposing total of 154 for 4. And I think this might be just a little bit of a bridge too far for the Bears.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, isn't it? Millie Taylor took a couple of wickets.
In fact, there it is. It's 159 to win.
Oh, yes,
with the DLS.
The DLS, so not the 155. Of course, I'd forgotten that with the cut-in overs, Duckworth-Lewis comes into effect, and because it was Essex who were affected, they have to find another 4 runs.
Yeah, 160 off 14. I mean, that's, what, 220, 230 in your normal T20 game. That's a big ask.
It is. It is. It is.
You know, and once it starts going over 12s to a ball, it gets very, very difficult. The start's going to be crucial for Essex. If they can keep it nice and tight at the start, and Eva Gray will come into it as well, won't she? But if she is at her parsimonious best, then I think it's going to be very, very difficult for the Bears. But I have been wrong before, Guy.
Yeah, it's just interesting that there's the scorecard, and everybody got in, everybody made a contribution, and everybody scored quickly. So an excellent team effort from Essex. We'll be back on the stream when we see whether Birmingham Bears can chase down the 159 they need for victory. Welcome back. Now, here we go. There are the Essex team in the huddle. They need to bowl well. Yes, it is a big target, 159 from 14 overs. But just to put things a little bit in perspective, Laura Harris, playing for the Bears, scored a 16-ball half-century on her debut, including 8 fours and 3 sixes. So we know that the Bears have the firepower there should it be needed.
Yeah, I think a lot rests here on Eva Gray. She is the one who keeps it tight, just bowls wicket to wicket, and she will be the one to lead the Essex attack. And if she bowls the first few parsimoniously, then it gets a huge ask for the Bears, doesn't it?
It does. But Abby Freeborn, who's walking out with Davina Perrin, can score briskly as well. So it's going to be interesting. And it's Katie Kopak who will start us from the Graham Gooch end. Used to bowling here again with her time from the Sunrisers. So
Yeah.
should be looking to put some early pressure on. It'll be interesting to see whether Essex follow the Birmingham Bears with just a couple of overs of seam and then mainly spin. Kopak in, and that's pulled away nicely.
That's not a bad start, is it? Yeah, just pulls that away, goes for 4 runs, and play yourself in, Davina.
Quite. But if it's the ball is, yeah, she's not unquick, Kate Kopak, but that sat up by the time it reached the batter and was thank you very much.
Yeah. Kopak in, and that's driven pleasantly out to Gardner out in the deep, who's got a really good arm. She's one of the best fielders in the country, Jo Gardner, and immediately shows the arm, lets them know she's there. And don't mess with me,
Yeah.
that sort of arm.
Yep.
But
Not quite sure how long the power play lasts. We must find out.
Kopak. That's pushed out to Gardner. They're going to look for 2 here. Gardner's again quick across the ground and gets the ball out of her hands quickly with that bullet arm and keeps it down to 1.
That is a terrific bit of fielding. That looked like there were 2 the whole time. But she covered the ground so quickly out there.
Kopak. It's just pushed into the offside. They'll settle for a single quite easily as Esme McGregor does the fielding there for Essex. Oh, that's well bowled, full of length, and Freeborn can't get that one away.
Yeah, any dot ball at this stage is a bonus because the required run rate is over 11.5. And if you can just crank up the pressure a bit with a few dot balls in the first 3 or 4 overs.
Oh, that's a big shout for LBW. And a misfield, but they don't take a run on the misfield. That looked
Lucky.
quite close there. Let's have another look at this on the replay.
Yeah, Lissy McLeod was a lucky girl because that misfield could have been expensive. Here comes the delivery again.
Going down,
Going
maybe.
down, possibly, yeah.
but that's where you want to go as a bowler here. You might have shade taken the outside of leg stump, but you know,
Umpire's call.
yeah. But what you want to do is be angling it into the body. You don't want to allow batter to get room to get the levers going. You know, give them any width. Just nice and tight into the pads. So after 1 over, the Bears 7 without loss.
Really good last 2 deliveries. And just what her side needed. Just pegging it back. 7 in the overall scheme of things is a very tidy over. So looks as if it will be Grace Scrivens to open the bowling and the batting from the Alistair Cook end. The Essex skipper. Ooh, that's short. And they find the gap, and that is 4 runs. It's a good shot.
See, if Scrivens was playing club cricket now, guys, you'd be getting all sorts of pelters. Being the skipper, opening the bowling, opening the batting.
Yeah. And then bowling a half tracker. But she is good, and she's taken wickets this season already. She's already got a couple. And that is just over. It's not quite timed, but it's going to be 4 more.
There's a guy at Broxbourne Cricket Club who used to do that, who was skipper. He used to open the bowling, open the batting, and then when his bowling spell had finished, go and take the pads and keep. True story.
Yes, not very good at delegating, no.
No, this was at 3rd level as well when I was a kid.
So an expensive start to Grace Scrivens. Spell so far, 2 successive boundaries of balls 1 and 2. That's better, and that's miss-hit, but it's going to fall safe. Much better delivery from Grace Scrivens. No real control from that shot from Perrin. She gets away with it.
Yeah, she got lucky there. Just landed in the gap, didn't it? Between the inner field and the fielder coming in off the boundary.
Rob Bailey. Is there something? It's not raining. There's no.
Bad
What
light.
is this? Can't be bad. This is strange. I wonder what this is they're discussing. Yes,
So no ball.
No ball. Are there
Now-
3 fielders in the wrong place? There 3 behind leg? No.
No, there's 2 behind leg there. There's 2 out in the deep.
So the umpire has said it's a no ball. Wasn't high. Bit bewildered by that. And that's a good stop. Really, really top work. Excellent from Maddie Penner.
That's superb. That had 4 runs written all over it.
And that was the free hit as well, wasn't it? So I still don't know what the no ball was for.
No. Right, we've got one coming in now into the ring.
Yeah. So more worried about the straight shot than the pull. And that is a dot ball. Nicely fielded again. This time it's Sophia Smale who does the business.
Yeah, brother Will Smale might be playing against Essex on Friday night, mightn't he, for Glamorgan?
And this is blasted. What a shot. Perrin is seeing the ball beautifully at the moment, Davina Perrin.
Well, I tell you what, they're ahead of the run rate here.
Yeah, well, they're just about on it, aren't they? They need 11 and over.
And there's still, what, 1 ball, 2 balls to go?
1 ball left in the over.
At this stage, at the end of the second, Essex were 19 without loss.
True.
And then they had only 4 came off the 3rd over of the power play.
So another 4 runs too. And that is just blasted back. And, well, Grace Scriven's decision to bowl herself, slightly expensive, 19 from the over, 26 without loss after 2. And as Dan said, they're ahead of Essex at that time, although Essex thought that they were batting for 20 overs at the time.
Yeah, they did, which is why the extra 5 runs has been added onto the target for the Bears. But I'm not sure that the experiment of using spinners in the power play is the right one, because I just think that you can use your feet, and with such short straight boundaries here at Chelmsford, you can just, once it beats the mid-on or mid-off up in the discs, it's away for 4 runs.
Okay, we now know what the no ball was for. It was for 4 players outside the ring, and there should have only been 3.
Gotcha.
Thanks to Simon Ward for that.
Lovely, yeah. Glad to see somebody's on the ball around
Absolutely.
here. Absolutely. Here's Kopak again. Freeborn, with a touch of bottom hand, plays this one out to deep backward square, and now amble through for a single, but it's Perrin who's the danger here. She's 23 off just 9 balls.
Yes, some innings so far.
And then Laura Harris to come, who's, as you said,
16 ball 50.
yeah. Well bowled there by Kopak, getting that right up in the block hole. They're going to take Gardner's arm on. No, they're not. Wisely so.
How many runs has she saved already, Jo Gardner? It's at least
5.
4 or 5, yeah.
She's outstanding. Kopak looking to nail that Yorker. And that could well go away. No, it's only going to be 1. They don't take
Fielded
on
well.
Griffiths out there. She's got a good arm as well.
There's been some terrific fielding already by Essex, and there's going to need to be a lot more over the next 14 overs if they're to hold the Bears at bay.
Kopak. Oh, that's a lovely cover drive. Gardner's in pursuit, but even she can't cut that one off. And that's 4 runs. What a pleasant shot. Guy Swindles.
Absolutely glorious. Right-handed too, and a glorious Ian Bell-like cover drive.
Indeed. Indeed. If I hit one like that, I'll be ringing the church bells, let alone Ian Bell.
Absolutely cracking shot.
That's the problem. When you're trying to nail a Yorker, you just get it slightly wrong and it's a full toss or a half volley. That's gone up in the air. That should be out. And it is.
Oh, well helped.
I think
Kept
that's Eva Gray, is that? But slightly slower ball. Well bowled by Kopak. And that sees the end of the dangerous Perrin for 28.
Oh, that was the wicket they needed. They really needed that because Davina Perrin had batted absolutely beautifully. 28 from 12.
Yeah, was Eva Gray with the catch? Good hands, because that was a skyer. I wouldn't fancy being under that, and especially out the lights as well. A little bit of wetness on the ball, which doesn't help, doesn't aid catching. And Gray made that look easy.
Yeah.
There we go. Here she is, under it. Safe as houses.
6 fours in that innings as well. It really was terrific. But they mustn't let the Pressure off. Interesting. Issy Wong has been pushed up the order. Presumably to try and build on the base that Davina Perrin has set. But this is another very good over from Kopak, just 7 from it and a wicket.
Yeah, scoreboard pressure can do funny things to sides, can't it? It's Kopak, last ball the over. Izzy Wong looks to work that one into the mid-wicket region, gets a thick inside edge onto the pad, and they scramble through for a single. But excellent over from Kopak. She's gone for just 15 off her 2 overs. The Bears, 34 for 1.
Yeah, excellent. Another really good over. Drags the Bears back to 11 and over, which is what they require, but they were ahead of the run rate after the second over. And that, just watching that catch again, that Eva Gray made look way more comfortable than she must have felt as she waited for that ball to descend.
Yeah, I'm biased because obviously I've worked with Eva over a few times. I've got to say nice things about her.
Esme McGregor coming into the attack. Pretty nice. She took 4 for 8 in the last match against Somerset. And that's clothed rather, but over the first ring of fielders and short of the fielders in the deep, and they go through for 2. But yeah, she's played 3 matches this season. She's already taken 8 wickets. So they could do with Esme McGregor coming to the party.
It's such a big boundary out towards the pavilion on the leg side here. There is virtually 2, even when it goes straight to the fielder, isn't it?
Yep. Oh, big, thick outside edge. It's going to go for 4. Well bowled, though.
Yeah, well,
If you don't have a third.
yeah, and you know, it's T20 cricket. You throw the bat and you get away with things like that.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's been interesting. I've noticed in the county championship and in the white ball game, they have used the third man more often. And, and interestingly, there is one now.
Is it?
In short, but there nonetheless. Oh, and that's a great shot. That's over the head of mid-on, who has to be in the circle. And crikey, Izzy Wong's got off at a decent lick.
Yeah, she's here for a good time, not for a long time.
Well, Essex will hope she's not here for a long time anyway.
Well, if she carries on like this, I think we'll finish this in about 10 overs.
No, belting effort. So, not doing too much wrong at the moment, Esme McGregor, it must be said. She's Grace Scrivens just having a little bit of a word, saying, do you fancy making this tweak? So she is bringing in the deep square leg and giving herself a long on. And that's up in the air. This could be out. Oh, it's dropped by Grace Scrivens. And the skipper not having the best time in the field at the moment.
It was a tough chance.
It was, but she got there.
Yeah, never easy over your shoulder, though.
No, it wasn't easy, but she had it. Toughy. And that's blitzed out again. They'll go through for a single. And at the moment, you just feel that Abby Freeborn is whoever she's batting with. She's just giving them the strike, thanks.
Yeah, she's going to be the glue that holds this Bear Bears innings together.
So this over, which hasn't been a bad one and could have had a wicket, has instead cost 13 so far. 1 ball still to go. They just settle for the 1, quite rightly. And after 4 overs, 48 for 1. At the same point, Essex were 37 without loss. As we keep saying, there is the added fact that they didn't know that they weren't going to bat their 20 overs. But even so, they're ahead of the run rate at the moment.
Yeah, but they've got to continue to do it at this rate. And it's when the power play's over and the field gets spread, how they cope with it then.
Well, it's your favourite bowler coming into the attack now.
Yeah, she's tidy. She's a good bowler. In the game here the other week, she took 1 for 16 off 7. That's gone out to Griffith. Well stopped. It was hit pretty hard by Freeborn.
It was nailed, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They had the fielder in the right place. Does it look to you as if the power play may be over?
1, 2, yes, 3. 3 out on a...
No, maybe
One-
not. No, I
1,
can only see 3 out.
2, 3. Yeah. Gray. That's been hit to mid-off, but singles are okay.
Yep. Yeah, Essex would accept a few singles at the moment. Well bowled by Gray.
Yeah, just bowling to a field here.
Just need to apply a bit of pressure. Good slower ball.
And Freeborn tries to reverse that. And does that come off? No signal. I think it's come off the glove actually of Freeborn.
Okay, well that would explain why it wasn't LBW then.
Yeah, Gray asking the question and having
Yeah.
a good laugh with umpire Gabby Brown. But one's here. Good Warwickshire could do with a boundary. Oh, big swing. Gray just tightening the screw here. They've gone from suddenly being ahead of it to probably needing a boundary.
I know,
That's
I know.
how
It's
quickly
so
it can
quick.
turn.
When you're having to rattle along at 2 runs a ball pretty much. Doesn't take long to slip behind.
Gray to Wong.
Good slower ball.
Oh, and that's brilliantly fielded out in the deep. Just another one.
And keeps them to a single as well.
That's Kopak out there, isn't it?
That is terrific stuff. The Essex fielding is... If they sneak this, that might be the difference.
Yep. Can Warwickshire get out of the over? Or Bears get out of the over with a boundary? That's just angled into the body.
Might
And
be
they'll-
2 if they... No, they didn't look for them.
Comes through. I think that will be a leg. But no, it's 1. Good over from Gray. She's gone for just 5 off it. 53 for 1 at the end of the 5th. And more importantly, there's no boundary in that.
No, that really was excellent bowling. No more than a single or a single extra. Interesting. Might have kept going with Esme McGregor, but Abtahar Maksud is coming in, Scottish leggy.
I knew she was a Scottish guy because she's got Mac at the front of her name, you see.
Absolutely. Just spelt slightly differently, but
She's
a talented bowler.
Yeah. Degree in dentistry.
Bowled very nicely last time out, got a couple of wickets. Oh, and that's a good parry, and they should get one. I feel for the bowler a bit there.
Was that a corn bowled? Or was
don't
it drilled into
think
the
so.
ground?
We'll watch it again. Here we go. I think that's into the ground. Hence why it died rather peculiarly in front of her.
Has she got a googly that will get through the cavity between bat and pad?
Very good dentistry joke there. Oh, and they're going straight. This could... Oh, that took the dive from Abby Freeborn. That was a brave single, and Izzy Wong not quite apologises, but puts the arm up and says, yeah, okay. But at the moment, Essex just applying brakes. We haven't had a boundary for an over and a half. There are two here. Yeah, the fielders had to come in from so far, and that hit the unfortunate Abby Freeborn, so they can't go for the third. Oh, it hit Winfield Hill as well, so everybody got hit by that particular throw.
I would like to be hit by one of Joe Gardner's bullet throws.
Exactly. Ooh.
There
is the boundary.
Yeah. The Bears' necessities. Reverse sweep.
Well played by Freeborn, who's just cranking it up a little. She had, I think, 4 from her first 6 she had faced, and she's just now scoring that little bit quicker. Maksud started with just those 2 singles. Suddenly the run's just leaking a little. The reverse again, and it's straight to the fielder. But they go through for a single. Issy Wong was really quickly off the mark. Nothing much the bowler can do about that. She did her job. 1 ball left.
I think we're on for a tight finish here, Guy.
I think you're right. They need some wickets. That's rather dragged, but again, with everyone set back, there should be 2, and they take 2. So 11 from the over. Oh, and then Maksud, in her effort to try and stop the ball, nearly handed a third to the batters. Instead, that is the end of the over. 64 for 1 after 6. 60 for 1 was the was the Essex score.
Yeah, even Darren Stevens, as they say in Kent. It's nothing to choose between these two. And just holding Gray back by the look of it. I think they're bringing McGregor back into the attack from the Graham Gooch end. I think Gray probably needs to bowl towards the death, doesn't she?
Yeah. I think Esme McGregor, there's a good call, because she didn't bowl that badly. She went for a few.
Yeah. You've got to try and get the overs out of the way. You've got to try and use up your overs somewhere.
And she's a wicket taker, so you can see.
But it's that short boundary towards the flats and towards the Felsted school stand that Freeborn will be targeting. McGregor, smooth rhythmical approach. Oh, that's short, and she gets herself into a tangle trying to reverse that.
Sort of reverse hook, reverse pull. It wasn't there for a reverse, was it?
No, talk about premeditating a shot.
That's well bowled, though, because it followed her as well.
Yeah.
Sort of like to see quick bowler upset if someone takes the mickey.
Short and pulled, but only picking out Griffiths out in the deep. Another one with a good arm.
Yeah, she's fielding really well.
Essex fielding's been impressive, actually. Apart
It
from the
has.
one catch dropped
Yep.
by the skipper Scrivens, which was a tough chance, but other than that, it's been very good.
Oh,
That's in the air.
this is a chance, and it's been
that's
taken.
really well held by Kopak at point, and that's the end of the dangerous Izzy Wong. And Essex needed wickets, and McGregor, the strike bowler, strikes.
Yeah, good captaincy as well. Bringing her back, just giving her 1 over rest, change of ends, and that's a big, big wicket.
Yeah, not an easy catch either, because
No.
she'd sliced that and they spin in the air. And a partnership of 32 between those two comes to an end as Wong trudges back to the pavilion. But that only brings to the crease Laura Harris.
Yeah, this is the moment, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's Essex's main wicket taker against the Bears' main run scorer.
Well, so much of T20 cricket, you know, when they talk about it, and they talk about matchups, and this is the matchup. If they can get rid of Harris early, Essex will fancy their chances. 65 for 2 now, with 7.5 overs left to score 94. That's a big, big ask. McGregor. Ooh. That's
Bit high, I think.
Yeah, and probably going down. Apart from that, I thought we had quite a bit going for a guy. But 1 run off 4 balls here, and the departure of the dangerous Izzy Wong, perishing in pursuit of quick runs. This could be the over that turns it, and you're right, Guy. Credit to Grace Scrivens for switching them around, because Gray had bowled a really good over the over before.
That's a good slower ball. Lovely delivery.
Yeah, this is clever cricket from Esme McGregor.
I like the way she can crank it up. We saw with that bouncer that followed Abby Freeborn and then is happy to just take the pace off a little bit.
Yeah, and there's a lot of pressure on Freeborn now. She's been there a while. She's the one who needs to get going as well. Oh, bowler! McGregor strikes, and the dangerous Harris is on her way back to the pavilion, and you can see what that means to the Essex team. The Eagle is soaring.
Well, that is a huge wicket and a huge over. 2 wickets for 1 run. And they were ahead of the game after 6 overs. And after 7, at the same point, 68 for 1 with Middlesex. And suddenly, for the first time, they're ahead.
Yeah, they are, and credit to McGregor. From ball 1, she got Freeborn into a tangle, and then Wong had to go after her, and then Laura Harris, the dangerous Laura Harris, she's on her way back, and you can see there on your screen what it means to the Essex women.
That is terrific stuff. So that's she continues. That's 10 wickets so far in T20s, which is in a 4th.
Well, she's, you know, maybe higher honours beckon.
Yep. She's certainly heading in the right direction.
Yeah, Steri Callis has come to the crease. She won't be facing though. She's at the non-strikers end because that completed the end of the 7th.
Abby Freeborn's still there. 17 from 16. Done a pretty good job, but as Dan was saying, she now needs to come to the party. Ends up being a full toss, but it's rather toe-ended away, and they only go for the one. Good fielding again down there.
Yeah, you've got Gardner at deep backward square and Griffith at deep mid wicket.
Yeah.
Both fantastic fielders. Essex really got a game plan going on here.
Yeah, she owes the teammates a little something up to Maksud there for a full toss. Just went for the one in the end. And she's got the new batter on strike, Steric Alice. It's a nice looking shot, but straight to mid-off, no run. Again, they're keeping mistakes to a minimum. That again was Sophia Smale, who's now being sent back, so there will be singles, but that's about it.
Yeah, and deep backward square comes into the ring.
They go through for the one. Decent stop, couldn't pick it all up, couldn't pick the ball up in her follow through the fielder, but Essex don't mind singles at the moment.
2 tight overs.
Maksud again, she's not afraid to give it air. That's a good reverse sweep, but again it's been stopped. Good diving, tumbling stop at backward square. Is that Eva Gray again? Yeah, another fine stop.
She's got away with one there, hasn't she?
That's 2 full bungers in this over, and both have gone for singles thanks to excellent fielding. That's a good better ball. Just pushed out to Eva Gray, who can't stop them going through for one. So just the 4 singles from the first 5 balls. That's nicely drilled. This could go all the way. It does. That's a really good shot. Minimal backlift, but maximum strength. And there's fielders down there. And that's always the worst feeling for a bowler. Your last ball goes for a boundary after you've really kept it tight.
It's serious timing. It was only about 10 yards to the right of long on.
I know. Good fielder too. It was Penner.
Yeah.
And she didn't stand a chance.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's obviously slightly chilly in the wake of the rain, and there's plenty of coats amongst the supporters. I can see that. See why.
It's the dentist getting drilled for once there, Guy.
You're really enjoying this, aren't you?
I'll get my coat.
She's never heard any of these before. You know.
No, I know. Kate Kopak is coming back into the attack. This will be her final over. 1 for 15 off 2, which in a high-scoring game like this is pretty decent going.
Showing a lot of trust in the rest of the... And also interesting to take off McGregor. It would have been McGregor's last over as well, so...
Yeah, just aborts her run there.
But McGregor having got 2 wickets for 1 run in the last over, do you take... Anyway.
Full of length. Yorker, well bowled. Kate Kopak. Freeborn tries to dance down the pitch. Sorry, it's Callis. Tries to dance down the pitch and Yorks herself.
Yeah. She really has bowled well in this. Kate Kopak.
Full, and that's driven out to Gardner. They're taking her on. Here we go. And Freeborn's in trouble. She's gone, surely.
No,
she's got
made
home.
Though I have to say, Kate Kopak looks surprised.
discombobulated.
Let's have a look, shall we?
It was angled in. Callis gave herself room. The two batters nearly collided. Oh, tight.
That's really tight.
Yeah.
Without a camera.
Yeah. That's full, and Callis can only help it round to Cordelia Griffith at deep backward square.
Those two are so good, aren't they?
Yeah. Callis, no relation of Jacques. There's only one L in her name.
I think we're watching the run out again. They're going to try and slow it right down. Now the ball comes in.
She's home.
She is just.
She's home. Good decision. Kopak in, and that could go out to deep mid-wicket just for a single. They thought about two.
Another great throw.
But this well-drilled Essex side giving nothing away in the field.
I think that's the difference, because in the back end of their innings, Essex were getting a lot of twos.
Yeah. And the Bears just unravelled a little bit, I felt. Their fielding. Just sort of,
Under pressure,
yeah. But with 2 balls to go of the 9th, the Bears are 77 for 3, whereas Essex finished the 9th on 87 for 2 and then accelerated. Oh, Kopak just again aborts her run. It was the over, the 11th, which went for 19, and the 13th, which went for 17. That were the big overs for Essex. So the Bears have got a lot of work to do. Full, that's one bounce.
Shot.
4. Stand and deliver. That is a lovely shot. It's one of yours there, Guy.
What, deliveries? I didn't mind the odd straight drive, I have to say. There was something really... And the quicker the bowler, the more fun it was.
Yeah. Yeah, there's the sort of the aesthetics of keeping it all along the ground, but just to really annoy the bowler, whacking him back over his head. That's cut again, venomously, vigorously by Callis, and she can time the ball, and that is 85 for 3. And what was a really good over with 4 off the first 4 balls has been ruined with 2 boundaries off the 5th and the 6th. The Bears 85 for 3, Freeborn 24, Callis 13. You're listening to me, Dan Whiting, with Guy Swindles here on Essex Cricket TV.
Yeah, this is now really interesting. Oh, there's some people who are most delighted to be on the screen this evening. And why not? Brave the elements, come out, and they've seen some runs. Boy, have they seen some runs. Even with our rain delay of an hour or an hour and a half or so.
Yeah.
So, where do Essex go now? The scores are virtually level at this point. There's nothing much between them. So, we're seeing Sophia Smale into the attack, left arm round. Oh, and that's a half chance. That was a possible caught and bowled, but that was absolutely larruped, I think is the official word, by Abby Freeborn. Sophia Smale is laughing about it because that really did come back. Look at that. She did well to actually stop it and keep it down to 1. Minimal run up, and that's cut away into the deep, but the fielder is there. And Stara Kellis looks to high heavens because she thinks there might have actually been a bit more on offer with that delivery, but she didn't take it. Oh, and that's a chance, and it's well taken. It's well taken. Good catch. Maddie Penner with the catch. Well, what a good bowling change this is turning out to be. Had a little bit of luck. Sophia Smale, the second one could have gone anywhere and only went for a single. The first one was smashed back at her and she couldn't hold on, but the wicket has finally fallen. Freeborn has to go for 25 off 22.
Charis Pavley coming to the crease, and I just get the feeling now that a lot rests on Callis. Essex just chipping away, aren't they? And every wicket-taking ball is also a dot ball at this stage.
Yeah, she made that catch look very easy. We've just seen another replay of it, and it wasn't, but she made it look very easy. Pavley. All the many all-rounders in the team. She cuts that away. It should be cut off. Is cut off by Grace Scrivens, and there is just the one. Now, in the last few overs, we've seen the final balls go for boundaries after a decent start to the over. Can Sophia Smale miss that? It's up in the air, but it's stopped superbly. Is that Joe Gardner out there? That's excellent work.
Yeah, it's Gardner and Griffiths have swapped sides, haven't they?
Yeah, the patrolman, and boy, have they saved some runs today. So just a couple, rather than the four that looks as if might be possible. Oh, and there's the reverse. Where's that gone? I didn't even see.
To Gardner, she's Q-ended it.
Yes, she somehow managed to get it out there. I didn't think she got all of it, but decent over that. Well bowled, Sophia Smale.
Still not a lot in it though, at 10 overs. Bears 91 for 4, the Eagles were 97 for 2. But it was at this stage that Essex really accelerated.
Yep.
Eva Gray coming back in from the Graham Gooch end.
She's only bowled the one over, hasn't she, so far? And just 5 runs from it.
Yeah, I think she will bowl her 3.
Yeah.
And they're putting their best fielder, Joe Gardner, out to long off after Callis was so... Well, she looks a very strong driver of the ball, doesn't she? Down the ground.
Yeah, and Esme McGregor has one more as well.
Gray. In, and that goes to point, but singles are all right here.
Good running.
Yeah, so Scrivens has skippered this really well. She's got her fielders into the right positions and her better fielders into the positions where you want to be.
Yeah.
Griffith and Gardner out in the deep have been outstanding and saved so many runs. And you can see there that Eva Gray had no protection on the offside, so went full. Slower ball, hoiked out to deep square. There's going to be 2 there. She's got it into the pocket. The left-handed Pavley.
Yeah, she's kind of got away with that one a bit, didn't she? It wasn't entirely where she meant it to go, but she picks up a couple.
I think at this stage you swing the bat and hope for the best, don't you?
Yes. Particularly when you're chasing like the Bears are chasing.
That's down the leg side. It's going to be 1. Luckily, it went straight to the fielder there around the corner, Lizzie McLeod, because either side of her there, that was 4 runs.
Yeah, but that's what she's there for.
Again, getting your fielders into the right position. Where's Gray going here? To Callis. She's going Yorker, and Callis has dug this out. That could run away down towards the river. And that's full. Is that hauled back?
No, it just made it. The poor fielder.
was a teaser, wasn't it?
It really was a teaser. She thought she was in with the chance for the whole time, and then got caught at the end.
Yeah, it's under our commentary position here, so we can't quite see the rope there. So you'll have to.
Had to watch it on the TV,
Yeah.
as you are, and
Yeah.
Esme McGregor couldn't drag it in.
That's pulled into the deep and clears the fielder. But one bounce, I think, for 4. No, it's good.
No.
Been given a 6. Umpire Gabby Brown raises both her arms above her head.
I'd like to see that. Must have been tight. It was a good shot.
It's an off cutter from Gray.
Yeah, looks fair.
Just, yeah. Her umpire's been very good, I think, Gabby Brown. Been impressed. .105.
Good over this one.
It is.
14.
That's in the air. Out to the fielder out there. They're going to come back for 2.
Good running.
So 16 off the over. 107 for 4. But at this stage, Essex were another 9 runs further on and still had some big overs to come. The last 3 overs for Essex went for 12, 17 and 9.
Yeah, that was good batting, because that wasn't a particularly terrible over. It was just really good batting.
Yeah.
And
It's-
as you said, just throw the bat, give it a try.
It's the nature of T20 cricket, isn't it? So, you know, some days you're the statue and other days you're the pigeon.
Yeah, nicely put, I think. And that's, well, didn't really get hold of that, and they have to settle for a single. This is again Smale, who proved difficult to get away in her first over. Lovely swing of the bat, but straight to the fielder in the deep. Oh, they come back for 2 and make it.
That's the first one that they've run a 2 where there really shouldn't have been one.
Yep. Or certainly hasn't been hitherto for. Oh, that's worth a little shout. Oh, brave shy. As if that is, oh, there were people there. Grace Scrivens was backing up.
Where's your pocket money, guy? On Essex?
Just.
I think so as well.
But it's one big over, and that could change. That was a leg by. Oof.
Oh, what a catch.
Great catch. What a catch. If the batter had left it, it was a wide, but that is stunning. And Penna's taken one hardish catch that she made look very easy, and one impossible catch that she's only made look moderately hard. So brilliant fielding, and well, the decision to bowl Smale has proved to be absolutely inspired.
Yeah,
What a catch.
I think Sophia Smale might Maddie Penner a drink tonight.
Yeah, quite, because that if the batter had left it, it was a wide, but she chased it, got it, and lost a wicket. Here we go. Look at that. Got a toe end on it. Oh, well held.
And it's easy when it's over your head. When your arms hit the ground, your elbows hit the ground, it can
Yeah.
easily pop out. And that is really good, intelligent cricket from Maddie Penner. And the
Yeah.
Bears are just starting to lose wickets at the wrong time.
Yeah, that's a very good way of putting it. They are at the moment. So, coming in, Katie George. Pavley goes for 5. Great catch from Penner. Smale. It's flicked away nicely into the deep, but there is a fielder there. But they'll get 2 pretty easily.
Griffith launches one in again.
Continuing with her left arm round. Ooh, and that could well be 4. No, it's well stopped. Just the 2. I'm not going to call that a chance for caught and bowled because that was going like an exocet.
Oh, Guy, you've changed.
I know. I'm getting kinder in my old age. 115 for 5. Well,
Yeah, 44 off 12 balls. It's a big ask now, isn't it?
just the 8 from that over and the big wicket. No, Smale's been inspired in these 2 overs. She really has applied the brakes. Is this Eva Gray to continue? I think it is for her last over.
Yeah.
2 overs left.
Bowling to the dangerous Callis, though. She needs to farm the strike. She needs to take as many of these 12 balls as possible, Callis.
44 off 2 overs.
That's been crunched into the offside. They're going to come back for 2 because it wasn't taken cleanly, although, I mean, it was absolutely drilled there. And
But 2 a ball isn't enough.
no, I don't think you can blame the fielder.
Callis has batted beautifully. 34 from 18.
She looks a good player. Slower ball, and again punched out to Smale, and just 1. And that's what Essex need to do, is try and deprive Callis of the strike. What's George got in the locker?
We saw a couple of 2s, didn't we, from her first 2 balls? And there's another ball that would have been a wide if it hadn't been hit.
Just 1. 1's a fine, though. Eva Gray bowling to a field. Came over from Surrey, wasn't she? Surrey last year, Eva Gray.
I think so.
Yeah. She's from southwest London originally. That's been hoiked out to long on. Just the 1. This is good from Gray, though.
Yeah, 39 now from 4, so even 4 a ball isn't going to do it.
Yeah, but just when the Bears needed the boundaries, Gray's dried them up.
Yeah, it's great work from Gray and from Smale at this stage to really apply the brakes.
Yeah, having the pressure being started by McGregor.
Yeah.
That's gone in the air. That could well be out. Fielder's making a lot of ground. No, it's been dropped. And they'll scamper back for 2. Very difficult chance, though. A lot of ground by Penner. She doesn't drop many.
No, we've seen 2 brilliant. She's cross with herself because she is a really, really good fielder. And again, she'll feel as if she got there and couldn't hold on. She did well to get there.
She can catch pigeons, can't she?
Yeah. Good
That's
slower
in
ball.
the air and gone. Clever cricket. Eva Gray, slower ball, rolls her fingers across it, and a thick outside edge. And that is the end of Katie George. She departs for 7, and more importantly for Essex, a dot ball is a hot ball.
Well, it's reached the stage now, with that wicket falling off the final ball of the over, that 37 are required off 6. So unless there's a no ball or a wide...
Where's Malcolm Nash when you need him?
Yes, quite. Even he would be all right. It would only be a tie.
Yeah. He's made a lot of money out of being hit for 36 off that over, isn't he?
It's amazing. There was actually a camera there, so they have got that
Yeah.
on film.
Really grainy footage.
Yeah.
The ball going down to Swansea Bay. There's I read a book once, actually. There's some,
It was green.
some dodgy stuff going on. There's about 4 balls doing the rounds on the
Okay.
auction market that are claiming to be Sir
ball.
Garfield Sober's signed balls.
Final over then. It's 4, but it's not 6. Poor McGregor here is almost the sacrificial lamb. They've got the field in largely to protect singles and say you've got to drive over the top of us. So there are boundaries to be had. Amu Surenkumar has come to the crease. Oh, and that is going to be 4 byes or 4 leg byes, I think. Oh no, it hit something. I didn't
Yeah, thick outside edge.
pick outside edge. So you need 6 every ball. At the moment, they're getting 4 every ball, and poor McGregor's figures are taking a bit of a bunting. Oh yes, it was a big, thick outside edge.
Would be a bowler, eh, guy?
I know. It's just- Good slower ball, good shot though. 6 gone all the way.
That's an unbelievable shot there from Callis. That's a 50.
That is a 50 off 23 balls. What an innings,
She's a proper player.
isn't she just? That's some 6 over cover.
It's not even a half volley. She's just gone inside out and screened it.
5 4s and 2 6s. Well, they're certainly making it respectable.
Yeah.
And that is crunched. This will not be a boundary. It'll only be the 2. There was half a chance for a run out with a half decent throw, but again, they need 21 runs from 2 balls, so it's not going to happen, but Essex will want to keep the discipline going that's been so important for them in this match so far. Oh, and that's going to be out. Callis goes and gives McGregor a 3rd wicket. Nice catch in the deep. Sunglasses, that's bold.
Smile.
Great catch.
Smile, safe as houses.
It's really dark out there. She's got sunglasses on.
She's from
Very
Wales. She
impressed.
probably doesn't get the chance to
Okay.
use them often.
Okay, fair play. Great catch. Made it look very easy. So we've got 1 ball remaining. McGregor has 3 wickets to go to her burgeoning total for the season. It's a great knock, though, by Steri Callis. Been a pleasure to watch that this evening. Been some really good cricket from both sides. But that is 138 for 7. And the last ball of a fascinating match. Rob Bailey with his arm out. And that's flicked into the leg side. They come for a desultory 2. Someone's going to be run out. Doesn't matter. It's all over. I think they took a single in amongst the carnage. Just waiting to see what the scorer reckons.
Yeah, it was 1.
1, I think.
And Suren Kumar run out, I think.
Yeah, so it finished on 139 for 7. A win then by 15 runs, I make that, for Essex.
Well, because of the DLS to
Oh,
win.
DLS is 20.
20 runs, yeah. Which will do their net run rate the world of good.
Yeah, well, I think that's why they were trying to concentrate on that last over when it was all getting a bit tough because if they can just ensure that there are bonus points if they can find them, then that's very, very handy. Oh,
got a light show.
light show. As you can see on the screen, it goes light, goes dark. What you can't see is the fluttering floodlights that are causing this.
No, fantastic.
Yes, in tune with Neil Diamond.
Wonderful, wonderful. What a good night and what good entertainment the people have had here at Essex. The Bears put them under pressure at times. Perrin, especially at the top of the order. Freeborn showed more solidity, and Izzy Wong also came in and looked dangerous. But there was that over from Esme McGregor, which removed Wong, and then Laura Harris, who is a very quick scorer, got rid of her for naught. And despite Sterikalis with 52, the Essex bowlers held their nerve and they managed to scamper home by 20 runs. And I thought that was a very professional performance, Guy.
I couldn't agree with you more. It was in difficult position. They started brilliantly. Grace Scrivens was batting beautifully, even outscoring Laura and Winfield Hill. And although they lost the wicket, then they had the rain delay, then they found it was 14 overs and they had to regroup. We saw lovely innings from Lissy McLeod. Cordelia Griffiths chipped in, so did Maddie Penner. Really good stuff. And that total of 154 from 14 was always going to be challenging.
Yeah, they just battered them out of it, didn't they? It was always, I mean, it's equivalent in 20 overs. I think we said in the interval, just getting something like 220. And yes, occasionally those scores are overcome, but not often.
No, nice to see the two teams all congratulating one another, and the umpires who were strolling back, who had a busy old afternoon. Rob Bailey kept having to run off. Here we go. Here is the Bears' scorecard, dominated by that wonderful innings from Callis, 52 from 25. Freeborn, also good. Perrin at the beginning, you thought the race was on in this because she batted beautifully. But there was some very good bowling, as we shall see. McGregor, you can see, with the 3 wickets in the middle. Kopak did well. Smale did brilliantly at the death. And Gray chipped in as well and was also very parsimonious with the runs. So it really was a solid performance from Essex. So that's now 2 wins back-to-back after the opening defeat. And they seem to be heading in the right direction, Dan.
Yeah, they are. I thought it was a really good team performance. I thought the fielding was outstanding.
Yeah.
Their fielding was so much better than the Bears. Gardner on one side, Griffiths on the other, and then the catching of Maddie Penner as well, and Sophia Smale. Just outstanding. Really good stuff. And I just thought that they looked a real unit. I thought they looked together. There weren't many misfields, and I just thought they looked on the ball.
Yep. First defeat of the season for the Bears.
Yeah.
In this competition. After the tie and the win. So they have had all 3 results so far in their 3 matches. But Essex will now move ahead of them in the table after what has been an entertaining victory on a slightly windy, slightly wet evening here in Chelmsford, but it is a win for Essex, and congratulations to them, and they will now move forward in this competition with 2 wins and 1 defeat so far.
Yep, so all that remains is, well, it doesn't look like the bowling figures are going to come up, but all I can tell you is Esme McGregor was the pick of them with 3 for 31. And Eva Gray, here we go. 3 for 32 she was in the end. Kate Kopak, 3 overs, no maidens, 1 for 27, and got rid of the dangerous Perrin.
It's funny, McGregor's figures are funny though. 3 for 32, 1 over, only 2.
Yeah.
And the other 2 cost 30. It
Yeah.
was, but 3 wickets, and she keeps taking wickets. That's 7 in the last 2 matches, 9 in this competition so far.
Yeah, but Eva Gray, I thought...
outstanding, and Smale at the death.
Yeah. as I said, it was a really good team performance with the bat, McLeod, Winfield Hill, Scriven. I think Essex could go deep in this competition.
Yeah, well, let's see if they can after this win by 19 runs with the Duckworth-Lewis method. It's a very good night from Dan and myself, and come back and join us for the next Essex match in this Vitality Blast T20 competition. They're going well.